Today on Minnesota and Company, addressing the root causes of learning struggles. LearningRx helps people build stronger learning thinking skills, both of them with brain training. And the summer months ahead are a great time to get your students started in their programs. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Heidi Bodine. In just a minute, we'll speak with Ashley Mackesy, a parent whose child has benefited from LearningRx. But first, let's chat with our friend, Rich Frieder. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely, Heidi. Good to be here.
Well, Rich is the executive director of LearningRx. You do so many good things. Tell us first about LearningRx.
Yeah, so LearningRx is different in that we're not a tutoring center. So we are what's called a cognitive skills trainer, or training center. The reason we focus there is our goal is to get more to the root cause of what's driving a struggle for a child or adult, but a child who's struggling with reading or attention or math or motivation issues. Because if you don't address the root cause, as school expectations increase every year, kids continue to struggle year after year. So, and especially this time of year, parents are looking at summer tutoring or summer school or things like that.
Right, trying to get ahead.
And it's not bad to do those things, but usually if you're just providing more academic content, you're treating the symptom and not getting at, well, why does my child even need extra tutoring or summer school in the first place? So we're strengthening cognitive skills like memory processing, auditory processing to address the root cause and get them past those struggles.
I love getting to that root cause. That is so key. Let's go to Ashley now. Tell us about Addie. How was she struggling before LearningRx, Ashley?
So my daughter is 6 and I have homeschooled her since she was in preschool. And I started noticing that she was learning a little bit slower than my son, who's a little older. We would go over the alphabet, and we did that for 3 years, and she learned the same 13 letters. And every time you would present the same letter to her, she would act like it was a new letter she had never seen or heard before. So I could tell that something wasn't getting into long-term memory. She also struggled with multi-step instruction. So if I were to ask her to go clean up the playroom and put the socks in the laundry, she would go clean the playroom, but totally ignore the second step, which was to go put the socks away. And she would often tell me, "Mom, you're talking too fast. You need to slow down. You're talking too fast." So those were like the 3 major ones that made me realize that something isn't quite what we expect.
Mom's intuition. I love that. What made you decide that LearningRx would be the best option for Addie?
We were honestly at a loss of what to do. Our doctor had suggested maybe she had ADHD. We had some friends say maybe she had dyslexia. Again, mom intuition. I didn't feel like either of those were probably the right diagnosis. But we had listened to a podcast of some friends that we have in Ogden, Utah, and they had used it for their son, which I hadn't known. And that kind of brought me to at least look into LearningRx. And my husband and I were like, well, let's get her tested. And honestly, it was once she was tested and figuring out where her lower scores were, it all started clicking as to, yeah, this is the correct route. This is where we need to be to help her succeed.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much. We appreciate that story and learning that RX helped so much. I want to get back to Rich now. Thank you so much as a parent. This is such good information. Is this the time of year to get started?
It's a great time of year because summer's coming. Kids are less busy, and there's also what's called the summer slide. So what that means, Heidi, is this time of year, kids lose like 2.5 months of reading skill, math skill. So we're not just maintaining skills over the summer, we are ramping kids up. So when they go back to school in the fall, if they were struggling all the previous year, they can really excel. So it's a great time to get help, help your child get past the areas they're struggling with reading, attention, motivation, math. And we work with ages 5's our youngest, 95's our oldest, actually.
Wow, I have heard adults that, that they're really finding help with you as well.
Work with a lot of junior high and high school.
I love that.
Students.
We want to give everyone the information. Thank you so much, Rich. Right now, Minnesota and Company viewers can get a special discount on an initial assessment for only $75. LearningRx has 7 Twin Cities locations. For more info, call or visit LearningRx.com. Thanks to LearningRx for sponsoring today's segment.